we are talking movies. I'm Cakes.
Swank here.
Luke.
Sorry, let's get right into it. Last movie you saw, Luke. Swank, go ahead.
I finally got to see The Master, Paul Thomas Anderson. He knocked it out of the park once again. It's different. It is really different. The performances are amazing. They are so good. But, I mean, I'm not going to say it's my favorite or anything like that, by any means, but it's a very worthwhile addition to his resume. The movie ended, and I just kind of sat there and I went, well, I guess that's it. I can't wait to see it again. I don't know when I will see it again, but I liked it. Like you said, Luke, it's not like anything that you've ever seen before. It's just
Yeah, it really is.
So different.
Yeah, I went to go see it again this week, and
oh really?
Yeah, and I still don't know how I feel about like towards the end, but yeah, it's definitely interesting. The movie to me flows a lot better. Like get inside the head more the second time, but yeah, like just every performance in it is just on the nose, and kind of forget. You just kind of forget like that's Joaquin almost, and
you really do. He is so good in it.
Yeah, and Oscar buzz. He'll win, I think. And cinematography is just fantastic, and the score and everything is just really detailed. And
yeah, Johnny Greenwood. I enjoyed the score better than There Will Be Blood.
Yeah, has that weird mystical, like fantasy sound out almost at times. Yeah, I don't know. Like I wouldn't say it's my favorite either of Paul Thomas Anderson's, but it's definitely unique enough. And
it's very unique.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh yeah, no, and it got me to thinking a lot about like experimental psychology and like cults, and I don't know. Like it's interesting. Yeah, it's definitely worthwhile to see.
Oh, yeah.
It's not for everybody, but it's definitely worth seeing.
Yeah, I recommend it to anybody who's curious, or any Paul Thomas Anderson.
Have I talked about my aversion to Joaquin Phoenix before? Did we talk about this last time we talked about that? I kind of limit myself to one Joaquin movie a year, and I've built it up to like I've seen the movie in a couple of years now. But I mean, the last Joaquin movie I saw in the theater was Gladiator. He just and that was kind of enough to really start to freak me out about him. I don't know why. It just kind of weirds me out for some reason.
Movie.
But yeah, I'm sure I'll get out to see The Master. You know, I just have some rules in life. You know, like don't eat Chinese and Mexican one after each other. You know, and don't watch more than one Joaquin Phoenix movie in a year. So.
A welcome return. I mean, that weird documentary thing that he whatever that rampage that he went on with Casey Affleck and but no, he is that good. He's that good.
Cool. Very cool. Well, last movie you saw, Luke?
Well, I saw a bunch this week, but I just wanted to mention them. I finally got to see Cool Hand Luke.
Yes!
So I finally saw a classic. And then I saw The Conversation. Francis Ford Coppola's The Conversation. Definitely another worth seeing, a little classic. And
Is that 80?
1970s, yeah.
So
like Gene Hackman, young Harrison Ford.
I knew it was older, so it's like before Outsiders and Rumblefish.
Yeah, it was like right between the Godfather movies he made.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
And then nice little quiet thriller, and then saw Argo. Probably one of the best movies I've seen this year. Very just entertaining, but intellectually stimulating. I kind of have a thing. I'm interested in Iran anyway, so it's interesting. So if you see that, I recommend watching Persepolis afterwards. But yeah, just Argo's really fun. Just thriller, but then there's some laughs, but then some really intense moments. But just a really good story. Just a fun movie to go see. And then Master, and then end it on a sour note with Dark Shadows.
Yes, I saw Dark Shadows this weekend too. Yeah, you know, it's kind of one of those movies. You get about the first 20 minutes into it, and you think it's going to be really cool, and then it just kind of goes way out there. You know, they had a hard time, I think, balancing the seriousness with the comedy. You know, Tim Burton, you know, has certainly done that in the past. You know, like even that first Batman movie and Beetlejuice. You know, it's still one of my all-time favorite movies. But you know, when you come to expect something like that, you don't kind of expect it in the same way. You know, you kind of expect him to, you know, maybe evolve a little bit. Anyway. So yeah, I was severely disappointed in it too. I finished it.
Yeah, I don't know if it was for fans only, because I remember the show being on when I was a kid on summers, and it would always be on like sci-fi during the middle of the day, and I just thought it was this really crappy looking, cheesy show. And I know that's what's endearing about it, but I don't know, it just didn't quite click with me. I kept waiting for something.
And I don't think the show really had that much comedy element.
Yeah.
It was more kind of Alfred Hitchcock type of kind of
Really?
you know.
I never saw the
But
television.
and even the humor I thought was kind of lame. It was making fun of the 70s a little too easily, I thought. But
Yeah, you know, every song they play too, I kept trying to think, is this before 1972?
yeah.
Because the movie's supposed to be set in 72, so yeah.
I got that in the trailer. Too.
I did kind of like the McDonald's / Mephistopheles.
Yeah.
That was kind of funny, but
Yeah. I mean, there's a few laughs, but
anyway, moving on. Speaking of Tim Burton, we thought we'd dive into his catalog a little bit. Some favorite Tim Burton movies. Obviously, you know, what put him on the map is his late 80s, 90s stuff. You know, Beetlejuice, Batman, we talked about, Edward Scissorhands. It's kind of where for me, Edward Scissorhands is kind of where I started thinking, oh, maybe this guy isn't all that. Because, you know, I have some people who absolutely love that movie. You know, my wife being one of them, but I just thought it was too out there. I don't know.
I like that movie, but I mean, I don't understand the love and I don't know. Would you call it like? I guess you
Cult classic.
Cult classic. Would you? I don't know.
fandom, I guess.
Yeah. Just.
Well, see, I was kind of a weird kid growing up, and I loved all the Tim Burton movies because they were just kind of like, they're so fantastical from what anything else I was seeing at the time, and I would draw the castles and ghosts in the room, and I loved like his music, Danny Elfman's music in it, and kind of the darkness, but there's kind of a cartoon element to it, and I was probably the first kid in my school to wear Night for Christmas clothes got all Hot Topicked out. Back in '93 when I was in 3rd grade, and I think he's a pretty consistent guy, but I think his later stuff is not as good, or maybe it's more predictable, or but I mean, I still really like most of his stuff though.
Yeah,
and
I'm trying to think of like the more recent ones. Dark Shadows. I guess Sweeney Todd's pretty. I love Sweeney Todd.
I love Sweeney Todd too.
Didn't see that one.
I
think Big Fish was really my kind of slashing point.
Yeah.
I just was like, I don't know if I can trust this game.
He is really hit or miss. Mars Attacks.
Mars Attacks is great. Yeah.
Great lines in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and that's, you know, like Luke said, that's something that's so fantastical, you know, and it's just a nice little escape, you know. You can just, you know, you can watch that movie, you know, just about in any mood and just have it totally change your mood and just be, you know, you're into it, but you know, it's not a total reality, but it's just awesome all at the same time. So.
Yeah, with Ed Wood and stuff, but
Ed Wood, yeah.
Sleepy Hollow is actually a really great one for Halloween.
I do like Sleepy Hollow.
Visually, probably the best looking movies ever, I think. Just really gets in the mood for Halloween, I feel.
I think
that's a great idea.
I didn't like the Sleepy Hollow. I don't know. I was pretty excited for that because I was always such a fan of that story, you know. But
I mean, some of the acting's a little
the
questionable.
first hour of that movie's pretty good, and then it kind of goes.
It's a little long-winded.
But Danny Elfman, yeah, I'm glad you mentioned Danny Elfman.
Yeah, this great scores.
That's another great reason to watch a Tim Burton movie because they're so memorable. And Beetlejuice, Batman.
What about Corpse Rise? Has anybody ever seen that?
I
haven't seen it, but I have not heard a thing good about it.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just kind of boring.
I actually never saw Night Before Christmas.
Oh, really?
I have yet to see it.
I don't think I've seen it either.
Oh.
Maybe-
Which is
maybe
unfortunate.
once.
I'm sure it's awesome. It's one of those movies. It's just like, oh. It's,
He does kind of seem stuck in the whole claymation.
Well, yeah, I think he
Nowadays.
gets, and everyone kind of looks like the dark eyes and white skin. And I appreciate a director that has like a really keen visual style, but it's almost to the point of I kind of want to see him just do something totally different. That's what I kind of like about Big Fish because it was so
it's
different
different,
from what he normally does.
We're playing
And
other
Johnny
games.
Depp wasn't in it.
Yeah.
You know, Johnny Depp is to Tim Burton as Uma Thurman is to Quentin Tarantino. It seems like. I feel like I've seen Johnny Depp in some movies that he wasn't even in credited. I feel like I've just seen him in the background of some Tim Burton movies sometimes.
He's probably there.
Yeah. Well, you know, whatever. They're great friends, but you know, like with the Wes Anderson movies, it's kind of cool that it's the same group of people. But when it's just one person over and over again, it's like, really?
Yeah.
And we already talked about Johnny Depp.
But yeah, I think for the most part, I think Tim Burton's probably one of the most consistent. I think he just needs a good script and stuff. I think he'll eventually have another masterpiece here soon. It's about time.
Yeah, hopefully he makes another Pee-wee movie. Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Oh yes, we forgot to talk about Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah.
I love that movie. It's so... I remember it creeped me out so much as a kid. There's so many things. I mean, I don't like clowns, and so that whole segment where the clowns are... Like that, he's having that nightmare where the clowns
Yeah,
are
they're
taking care of the
operating on
bicycle.
the bike.
Oh
And then
my god.
Satan takes the bike and puts it in his multi-pot.
Yeah, I like that movie a lot.
And
It
I
might be
just
one of my favorites
yeah.
movies, actually.
and
I
just
had to make
the
the top
weird
3 or
humor in it,
Yeah.
like Large Marge and and then when they're going through that bike chase through the studio lot, it's just so
It's great.
Yeah, the
Cartoony
bike stage
and-
through the, yeah, definitely. So is that would you say that was your favorite Tim Burton movie? Or?
I would say if I had to make a top 3, that would be on there. Mars Attacks would probably be on there too.
Mm.
Just, there's that box set that came in, Blu-ray box set or whatever. I should just take it home.
Yeah. What about you? Favorite Tim Burton movie?
let's see. I do like Edward Scissorhands a lot. There's a lot of them. I like them a lot. I would say like Beetlejuice probably is the number one. I have that movie memorized.
Yeah.
And for his later ones, I would probably say Sweeney Todd. Just really great. And I've talked about Sweeney Todd a lot. It feels like, but
Yeah, I'd say
Here's
definitely Beetlejuice for me, with Batman coming in just behind. The first Batman.
yeah. It was Michael Keaton to get together again.
Yeah, that'd be great. And Batman Returns too. I like it.
Oh, I love Batman Returns.
Just the first Batman. This has been Talking Movies. We're a division of Metal Fraker Productions. METAL FRAKER. Find us on Facebook. Metal Fraker Productions. Thank you. Bye.